And we don't need a study to tell us Wall Street bankers make more than teachers. But for many of us, jobs, it's just sometimes hard to tell. Now, the Fox 5i team's Dana Fowle points to college majors that are actually some money makers, right, Dana?
Yes, and let me say, my husband's a teacher and he loves it. And yes, he is not making Wall Street money, but he loves it. First, but let's say a higher paying job, isn't necessarily the right fit for everybody. Doing what is right or following your passion might be more your thing, but it's nice to find that job where you can strike that balance, something that makes you want to go into work in the morning and something that makes your savings account happy too. Well, a millennial, a young millennial at that, has a blog called Cashlorette, and she really crunched some numbers. Median incomes and unemployment figures is what she used, and here's what she came up with. If you're good at math, well, you will make more money than those of us who write for a living. Here are her top 5 most lucrative college majors, and they're quite specific. At the top there, a petroleum engineer, then pharmaceutical science, rounding out 3 and 4 are more engineers, geological, geophysical engineering, and mining or mineral engineering. And lastly, naval architecture and marine engineering. Now, at the bottom of the list are the arts and the humanities, and clinical psychology is at the very bottom. How different are the incomes for these majors? Well, let's go back to the top. Petroleum engineering, according to Cashlorette, has a median income of $135,000 and only a 2.38% unemployment rate for that job category. Now, let's drop down to clinical psychology, where a salary comes in at just more than $43,000. I found that surprising, but there you have it. But look at this. This is the more uncomfortable number, really. The unemployment figure for that job is 8%. That's high. Those STEM careers, science, technology, engineering, and math, are where today's young people are finding those bigger paychecks.
That is amazing. Now, obviously, the common denominator with a lot of those careers, they are STEM careers, but what if that's just not your thing?
There is nothing in that top list I would want to, no amount of money. But there are workarounds.
Okay.
Let's say nurse. That puts you right there about in the middle. This career is the highest ranking non-STEM job, she says. I think it was like 36. Well, you can follow your passion, but with your mind open to expanding it down the road, maybe taking that expertise into pharmaceutical sales later or administration. I have a lot of friends who started out in clinical psychology, and they're doing quite well because they're running their own businesses with therapists and others in the field who are working for them. So it's an opportunity to think, and here's that old term, outside the box a little bit. Find your passion and figure out what you're going to need to do to plump it up a little.
Yeah, it's definitely going to require sort of a shift in thinking as we talk to high school students about what they're going to do in college. Good information, Dana. Thanks.